Hey guys, Tiffany Garner here, and today I'm talking about the power and control wheel. Now, the power and control wheel was created by a place in Duluth, Minnesota, and it was created by people who had been through abusive relationships. And it talks about the different kinds of abuse that happen. Now, abuse is all centered around power and control, and there are different types of abuse and different levels of abuse as well within those. So, around the outside, it has violence, and it has physical or sexual, depending on what type of violence it is. So the first one is using intimidation. So using intimidation, it is making her afraid by using looks, actions, gestures, smashing things, destroying her property, abusing pets, displaying weapons. So it's just making her feel intimidated. Now this can also be for men as well, because women are not the only ones that are abused, but it focuses more on women because women are more likely to be abused than men. 1 out of 4 women will be abused in her lifetime, and 1 out of 7 men. So that's a statistic on that. The second one is using emotional abuse, and that one consists of putting her down, making her feel bad about herself, calling her names, making her think she's crazy, playing mind games, humiliating her, or making her feel guilty. And then the third one, using isolation, and that one can be controlling what she does, or who she sees or talks to, what she reads, where she goes, limiting her outside involvement, using jealousy to justify actions. And then we have minimizing, denying, and blaming. And that one is making light of the abuse and not taking her concerns about it seriously, saying the abuse didn't happen, shifting responsibility for abusive behavior, or saying that she caused it. The next one is using children. And that one is making her feel guilty about the children, using the children to relay messages, using visitation to harass her, threatening to take away the children. And I would also throw in parenting there. If you are disciplining or parenting your child, or he's expecting you to discipline his child, and he's not taking in the responsibility of disciplining his child himself, that's another type of abuse, because you're not on the same page of parenting. And then using male privilege. So that one is treating her like a servant, making all the big decisions, acting like the master of the castle, being the one to define men's and women's roles. Then using economic abuse, and that one is preventing her from getting or keeping a job, making her ask for money, giving her an allowance, taking her money, not letting her know about or have access to family income. And the last one is using coercion and threats, which is making and or carrying out threats to do something to hurt her, threatening to leave her, to commit suicide, to report her to welfare, making her drop charges, making her do illegal things. So, sorry I had to read that, but I just wanted to make sure that you got all of the information. So, when I was going through my abusive relationship, I found this will, and I started looking at it and I started reading it, and I took like a marker and I started going, check, that happened, 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 and check, that happened. So all of them had happened to me, and I didn't even realize it until I had seen this power and control wheel, and this actually helped me to realize that yes, I was in an abusive relationship and I needed to do something about it. So if you have seen this and heard the explanations of each one, and like I said before, abuse is going to be different. One of the things that's not listed on here is when I was driving, he grabbed the steering wheel and tried to crash us into oncoming traffic. And so it's different things like that you just, it's different for everyone, so you never know exactly what to say for, well, this counts as abuse or not. But if you think about it, it will fall into one of those categories. And for the driving one, I guess it would either be male privilege or like using intimidation, and also minimizing and denying and blaming. He said it was my fault and that I had caused him to do that, but I was the one driving. It was him who grabbed the wheel and tried to turn it and scared me really bad. But yeah, it's different for everybody. Some people it's worse physically than others, and some it's more emotionally, some it's even cheating, or I know pornography is used in a lot of abusive relationships. So if you notice any of those signs, please get help, and feel free to comment below, questions below, and I hope that these videos are helping you. And yeah, I don't know what else to say. Thank you, and thank you for watching and listening. And my name is Tiffany Garner. I hope you learned something.